If you're thinking of making a move to Fargo, North Dakota, or you're just interested in what this region's all about and what it's actually like, this is a video for you. In the last 20 and 30 years, Fargo and Moorhead have changed a ton of new amenities all throughout this region. In this video, I'm breaking down everything you need to know about this Fargo-Moorhead region by giving you a little Google Maps tour of the area. I'll be going over schools, I'll be going over neighborhoods, I'll be going over major roads, satellite cities, and everything you need to know about Fargo, North Dakota. So make sure you stay tuned to this whole video where I show you everything you need to know about this Fargo-Moorhead region and the areas that have changed in the past 20 or 30 years. So make sure you stay tuned. Now, by the way, I'm Sykora. I'm a real estate agent here in Fargo, North Dakota, a part of the Living in Fargo-Moorhead YouTube channel. I make a ton of these videos to give you guys more information on what life is truly like to live here in Fargo, North Dakota. Now, I also have a ton of people reaching out to me from my YouTube channel who are interested in buying and selling a home here in this Fargo-Moorhead region. If that sounds like you or someone you know, you can reach out to me by scheduling a call with me through the calendar link in the description below, or by reaching out to my phone number or email address that will be on the screen now. So in this video, I'm just going to be bringing you guys on a little Google Maps tour so you kind of get an outline of the region, the different areas, and everything you need to know before moving to Fargo, North Dakota. So let's get started right here. We can see we're in Fargo-Moorhead. We're on the eastern side of North Dakota and the western side of Minnesota, up in the northwestern border of Minnesota. So this is Fargo-Moorhead right here. The population of Fargo-Moorhead is around 250,000 people total. So it's the biggest city in the state of North Dakota. It may not seem that big depending on where you're moving from or you're thinking of moving from. But for North Dakota and for this side of Minnesota, it's the biggest city in the area. So Fargo-Moorhead is split right down the middle by the Red River. So that's this river here. And as you can see from on the Google Maps right here, it's North Dakota and Minnesota. So there's two different separate states right in the middle of this metro here, Fargo-Moorhead. So again, with that, like I said, there's different policies, different ways the government is run, and there's a lot of different things with being in two states here in the Fargo-Moorhead region. Now on the Moorhead side and the Minnesota side is the city of Moorhead right here, and you have the city of Dilworth. These two combined have a population around 40 to 50,000 people. Then on the Fargo and the North Dakota side, you have Fargo, which is kind of the main city here. You have West Fargo and you have Horace. So those are kind of the three main cities here on the Fargo side compared to the Moorhead and the Minnesota side. And again, the total population of this area is around 250,000 people. So kind of the big roads and the big interstates you need to know. I-94 you have running east and west here. As you can see, it breaks off into Main Avenue here up in West Fargo. Then it goes down and continues to go down all the way to eventually Minneapolis, Alexandria, St. Cloud, all the way to Minneapolis and the Twin Cities. So that's I-94. Then you have I-29 right here, which runs north and south, runs north up to Grand Forks, North Dakota, another bigger city here on the eastern side of the state. And then going all the way up to Canada, then going south, goes down to South Dakota, all the way down to Watertown, and all the way eventually to Sioux Falls in South Dakota. That's how Fargo is connected through the interstates, but there's actually a lot of different satellite cities around this Fargo-Moorhead region that can bring a lot of opportunity for people who maybe want to live close to Fargo, but they don't really want to live in the big city or surrounded by a lot of people. They want some more land, some more area. So I'm just going to go over a couple of those now. So we have Glendon over here on the Minnesota side, small town. Holly out a little bit farther east over to Detroit Lakes and the Lakes region of Minnesota. Now, a lot of people like to go here in the summers, especially on the weekends, especially when it's nice out, to go and enjoy the lake and enjoy the outdoors. So it's very popular and one of the best amenities that I think Fargo-Moorhead has to offer is being close to the Lakes region of Minnesota. So, of course, then continuing south from Fargo-Moorhead, you have Wahpeton down here, a bigger city here in North Dakota, Kindred. We already talked about Horace, Mapleton, Castleton, Wheatland are kind of the three cities along the interstate. Then going north, Harwood. Then you keep going up to Hillsboro. And there's just a ton of small towns all surrounded throughout this Fargo-Moorhead region. Of course, you've been to North Dakota or you know what North Dakota is. It's really a ton of small towns all over the place. Then you have the big cities. You have Fargo, you have Bismarck, Minot. And there's a ton of small towns all throughout the state of North Dakota. So those are kind of some of the satellite cities of this Fargo-Moorhead region. Now this Fargo-Moorhead region, it's kind of broken down into some different segments. So I'm going to kind of break down these segments for you now so you kind of know when people live here in Fargo, these are the things they're going to be referencing when they're talking about this Fargo-Moorhead region. So I'm going to go over that now by taking a little screenshot and doing a little drawing here. Get my artist skills going. So this is the Fargo-Moorhead region right here. This is just a little screenshot. So it's broken up into different sections. So first is the downtowns. So downtown Fargo is very, very popular, having one of the best nightlifes in the whole entire state of North Dakota. Then you have the Moorhead downtown, which is just doing a new project right now too. It's in progress, but it will be completed soon. So that's this spot right here. These are kind of the downtowns of Fargo, downtown of Moorhead. As you can see, right on the river too, between the two cities and the two states here in Fargo-Moorhead. So that's downtown Fargo and downtown Moorhead. Then you have central Fargo. So as you can see, that's kind of off I-29 and I-94 right here. This is central Fargo. There's a couple neighborhoods, especially in the south part of central Fargo, that are pretty good. You have South High down there. But this is a lot of businesses, a lot of industrial, especially up on the northern side over here, kind of by NDSU. So NDSU, North Dakota State University, the biggest college and the most popular college here in Fargo, North Dakota. You have Hector International Airport up here too, up on the northern side of Fargo. So following the river, going up past the interstate, this is northern Fargo right up here with the airport. Ton of great neighborhoods over here right off the river, way up in North Fargo. Edgewood, Trollwood are some of those. Then over here, you take, again, the river. You go over, split it off in West Fargo. This is South Fargo right here. Now, as you keep going farther into South Fargo, there's going to be a lot of new construction and a lot of new neighborhoods down there. I'll talk a little bit about the growth once I go over all the sections, but Fargo and South Fargo is growing a ton here in this Fargo-Moorhead region. Then over here, you have West Fargo. West Fargo has been one of the fastest growing cities, schools, and one of the fastest growing places here in the whole entire state of North Dakota for quite a few years now, and it's continuing to grow. It's growing really quickly, really rapidly, and there's a lot of people moving to West Fargo, North Dakota. Then down here you have Horace. Now Horace is another fast growing city here in North Dakota, having almost double its population from 3,000 to 6,000 in the last couple of years. It's more of a luxury neighborhood. There's a lot of big homes on lots and big lots with a ton of stuff by the river, Cheyenne River over there. So that's Horace, North Dakota, population around 6,000 people. Then we'll head over to the Moorhead side. There's kind of two main areas. You have Moorhead and you have Dilworth. So this is Moorhead right here. Just completed a new high school in Moorhead, population around 45,000 people like I talked about before. Then you have Dilworth right here, kind of the little small city right off the edge of Moorhead, Minnesota, population around 5,000 people. So this is kind of the Fargo-Moorhead area. This is what people talk about when they're going to reference different areas in Fargo, North Dakota. They say, oh, I'm going to go up to North Fargo. I'm going to go down to South Fargo. These are the different areas. So you have the downtowns of Fargo and downtowns of Moorhead. You have North Fargo up here by NDSU and Hector International Airport. Central Fargo, a lot of businesses, industrial areas in there, but also some good houses over on the southern side of the Central Fargo region. You have South Fargo going up to Blue Mountain Lakes, which is a neighborhood right here, all the way down to Blairwood, Wild Rice area. West Fargo over here, one of the fastest growing cities here in the whole entire state, continuing to grow, a ton of new construction. You have Horace down here, and you have Moorhead and Dilworth in the Minnesota side. Fargo-Moorhead is growing a ton, and for good reason. A lot of people are wanting to move here because it's a big city, yet it's still in their Midwest state of North Dakota. So if you're interested in moving to Fargo, North Dakota, I actually made a free custom relocation guide for this area. If you just want to comment relo down in the comments below, I'll send you over my free relocation guide for relocating to this Fargo-Moorhead region because it's changed a ton. A lot of people, they'll move out of Fargo to go to some other town here in North Dakota. And then once they get older, they want to move back. They want to be closer to the kids. They want to be closer to family. They want to come back to where they grew up. And Fargo's changed a lot, especially in the last 20, 30 years. So if you want to get a free guide to relocating to Fargo, North Dakota from anywhere in the whole entire state, the whole entire country, or the whole entire world, comment the word relo in the comments below, and I'll send that over to you for free. So the areas of new construction here in Fargo. People always talk about it, and these are the areas where there's a lot of houses being built. So especially over here in West Fargo, right between West Fargo and Horace, in the areas of Horace over here, there's a ton of new construction being built. It's growing this way and down south. Then again, like I talked about, South Fargo has a lot of growth right down here. Fargo's growing a ton, and it's growing southern and west is the areas of growth here in Fargo, North Dakota. So we're growing towards Horace, and we're growing a little bit west down in this West Fargo region. Now, there is also some growth happening in Moorhead, right down here in South Moorhead and right over here just south of Dilworth in the kind of central Moorhead area. So these are the areas where there's a lot of growth and a lot of population, a lot of houses being built here in this Fargo-Moorhead region. As you can see, Fargo-Moorhead is kind of growing more south than it is more building up north. Now there is some certain areas up here in North Fargo where they're building a sector of homes, maybe a little cul-de-sac or neighborhood, but most of the growth is in South Fargo, West Fargo, Horace. That's where all the growth is happening here in Fargo, North Dakota. Now that you guys kind of got an idea of the different sections of Fargo, different areas, and where Fargo is actually growing, we're going to go on a little Google Maps tour of the area so you kind of know the amenities and where everything is in this Fargo-Moorhead region. First, I'm just going to go over some major amenities. I talked about it a little bit before. We have the airport up here, Hector International Airport. A lot of people flying in and out of here constantly up on the northern side of Fargo, right off I-29. Then just south of the airport, you have the Fargo Dome, where the NDSU Bison play. The very, very popular football team here in Fargo and in North Dakota, having winning the championship almost every year. Then you have North Dakota State University right here, the biggest college over on the North Dakota side. And as you'll see as we go throughout this whole video, there's a lot of colleges here in Fargo-Moorhead. It's a college town, and there's a lot of colleges and a lot of people who are very passionate about the colleges here in Fargo, North Dakota. So this is kind of like I talked about, northern Fargo area. We go down a little bit. We have downtown Fargo. Now, downtown Fargo is very, very popular, especially for its nightlife. A ton of wineries, breweries, bars, and things to do in downtown Fargo that's really not available anywhere else in the state of North Dakota. So that's what people love to do down in downtown Fargo, to enjoy the nightlife and enjoy the amenities that downtown Fargo has to offer, which nowhere else in North Dakota really does when you compare it to Fargo's downtown. Then right here is the river to go across to Moorhead, and Moorhead's downtown. They have a huge project going on in downtown Moorhead right now, working on being completed. And if you want more information on that, it's going to be coming soon to the channel, so make sure you follow along. This is a Living in Fargo-Moorhead YouTube channel. I post a ton of information about what life is truly like to live, work, and move to Fargo, North Dakota. Make sure you stay tuned. Then we can go right here to West Acres Mall, the biggest mall in the state of North Dakota. Very, very popular, huge, and a great place a ton of people like to go over here in the Fargo region. Down a little bit south, you have the Red River Zoo right here. And over here is the Sanford Medical Center. This is a newer hospital here in Fargo, North Dakota, the biggest hospital here in this region, Sanford Medical Center. Then also you have another medical center and hospital right off the university over here. Another Sanford Medical Center here in Fargo, North Dakota. Then over in West Fargo, we have the fairgrounds, Bonanzaville, Red River Valley Speedway. Those are kind of the main amenities we have here in Fargo. There's a lot of great things to do here in Fargo, a lot of things people are passionate about, and people love to be outside here in Fargo. If you keep staying tuned till the end of this video, I'm going to go over some different neighborhoods here in Fargo, some great places to live, and a lot of things people love to enjoy doing here in Fargo, North Dakota. So make sure you stay tuned. Now, another important thing you need to know about Fargo is the roads. When you talk to people from Fargo, they're always going to reference everything by the roads. They're going to say, this is on the corner of 32nd and 52nd, or this is over on this road, this is right off University. They always reference everything by the roads. So it's important to know them. So I'm just going to go over a couple main ones that people always reference so you know what people are talking about. So right here, again, we talked about it before, it's I-94, and it breaks off to Main Avenue. So Main Avenue goes all the way from West Fargo, where it turns into Highway 10 over on the Moorhead side as it continues to go to Dilworth, to Holly, and over to Glendon area. Then you have this highway right here off of Moorhead, which is Highway 75. So it'll come down into Moorhead, go off of Highway 10, and then go down into Moorhead again. So you kind of have this little stair stepper over here that it will go down and up into Moorhead. So again, you had a High 94, I-29, the two interstates running through this Fargo-Moorhead region, and you have Main Avenue right here. Then a couple other important roads up here. Downtown Fargo has Broadway, which is the most recognizable road here in Fargo, North Dakota. You've probably all seen the Fargo Theater sign over on Broadway. Then you have 10th Street North and North University Drive. These roads are actually two different one-ways that break off on the 13th. I'll go back to 13th here. So on 13th Avenue, these roads break off into a one-way. University breaks up to North University Drive and 10th Street North, South, and 10th Street South. So they're both one-ways going both ways here in Fargo, North Dakota that people take a lot, and they get really, really busy, especially during, the 7:30 to 8, 4:40 to 5:30, those times. These roads can get very busy. So you have University right here, which is another important road, goes all the way down and continues to turn into Highway 81 when you get way down here. But that's University. A lot of people talk about University. It's called University because it goes all the way up to NDSU and continues on to go all the way up here to 40th Avenue Northwest. 13th Avenue right here. A lot of things to do down this road, a lot of restaurants, a lot of amenities and stuff to do, especially over here once you get into the West Fargo region. And then, of course, you have 32nd, 40th, and 52nd Avenue. These avenues people reference a lot when they're talking about the South Fargo, West Fargo region. 32nd right here, 40th, and 52nd. Then some more important ones, 42nd and 25th are pretty two important ones. 42nd just had a new bridge completed over here, so people are taking that a lot more than when they used to. Then you have Veterans right here. People talk about that a lot. Again, a lot of amenities. It's right by the hospital, ton of restaurants, stuff to do down these roads. And the thing about these roads, guys, they can get really busy, especially during those times I talked about. So you got to know this area and know the regions that are busy so you can determine how long it's going to take you to get to and from your location. Then over here, Cheyenne Street, which turns into 170th Avenue going down to Horace, North Dakota. And it's Cheyenne Street up here as it goes up to Main Avenue. So those are kind of the main important roads. Again, you have 12th Avenue North, which is another important one. That's one that runs right in front of NDSU. A lot of people take that to obviously get to NDSU. The 19th Avenue North is what people take to get to Hector International Airport here in Fargo, North Dakota. Now, these are kind of the main roads over on the Fargo side. The Minnesota side, there are still important ones, but people more often than not will always reference the Fargo roads here in Fargo, North Dakota. Some important ones here in Moorhead are Main Avenue Southeast. So again, this is just a continuation from Main Avenue. When it breaks off into Highway 10, where Highway 10 goes up here, Main Avenue continues on and goes down here over to the interstate and continuing to become Highway 52. Then you have 40th Avenue South over here in South Moorhead by Village Green Golf Course. Then you have Highway 75 right here, which runs right by the two colleges. You have Concordia and you have MSUM, the two major colleges here in Moorhead, Minnesota. Now, Moorhead actually has 4 colleges, and it has a town of 45,000 people. You have Concordia, MSUM, M-State, and you also have Rasmussen over in Moorhead, Minnesota, and that is very much a college town. So in Moorhead, there's a lot of stuff to do, especially off Main Avenue right here. A ton of different businesses down here, of course. Then as you continue Main Avenue to go this way, again, more businesses all throughout Main Avenue until you get to the interstate of I-29 here in Fargo, North Dakota. If you or someone you know is interested in buying or selling a home here in Fargo, North Dakota, make sure you reach out to me. I'm Zach Sykora, a real estate agent here, part of the Living in Fargo-Moorhead YouTube channel, and we have helped countless people buy and sell homes who have reached out through our YouTube channel. So if you're interested or someone you know is, you can schedule a call through the link in the description below, or you can reach out to my phone number on the screen now. Next, in this video, we're going to break down the different regions a little bit. So, of course, you have Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo, which are going to be the 3 regions we're going to break down here and some of the important neighborhoods and places you need to know in this area. So right here is Fargo. The biggest part of this Fargo-Moorhead Metro has a population of around 150,000 people here in Fargo, North Dakota. So again, we can see up in the north again, we have Hector International Airport and North Dakota State University. Washington neighborhood right here. A lot of college kids in this neighborhood, but there's actually some really cute houses over on this eastern side of the neighborhood, right by El Zagel, a par 3 golf course. One of the cheapest green fees here in the whole entire Fargo-Moorhead region. I'm a golfer and I love to go golfing over at El Zagel Golf Course. Elephant Park up here, and the Veterans Hospital over in Fargo, North Dakota, right up here in the north. And as you'll see, there's always a ton of parks and places to be outside, especially along the river here in Fargo, North Dakota. So again, we have the Hector International Airport. You have the Fargo Air Museum down here. And this is a neighborhood that I really love that I think is actually really underrated. And that is Edgewood. Edgewood's a neighborhood way up here north in Fargo, North Dakota. They have a golf course, as you can see, right in the river right here. But it's a nice little neighborhood that I think is kind of underrated, and it's really quiet up there. And there's a lot of great houses over in this Edgewood neighborhood area. So as we come south through Fargo, there's also a lot of great things to do, especially in the downtown of Fargo, which I already talked about earlier. And Brewhalla, I love going to Brewhalla. That's a little bit of a mix of a mall and a kind of brewery, winery, and a coffee shop. Yes, it sounds like a weird mix, but I think it's a really chill place to go that people can enjoy and kind of have some quiet and some space here in Fargo, North Dakota. Then, of course, you have the downtown of Fargo, all the hotels, all the amenities, all the nightlife here in downtown Fargo, especially along Broadway. and especially North Pacific Avenue. There's a ton of great things, First Avenue North, ton of great things to do in downtown Fargo. Then we get over to Viking Ship Park here in Moorhead, Minnesota. Some great parks over in this area. You have Moorhead, then downtown Moorhead. You have the Dairy Queen down here, which is actually the Dairy Queen who invented the Dilly Bar here in Moorhead, Minnesota. And they still only serve people from the outside, so there's no inside you can go into this Dairy Queen. And they have really unique menu items, which are found at no other Dairy Queen anywhere in the whole entire world. So that's a really unique and great place to go here in Moorhead, Minnesota. Stay in Fargo here, though. Then down here, Prairie Wood, another great neighborhood, right around a beautiful golf course here in Fargo, North Dakota. Really nice houses along this neighborhood area. Biggest mall in the whole entire state of North Dakota, West Acres Mall right here. Then as we keep going south, Bluemont Lakes. This is a beautiful neighborhood down here in the southern part of Fargo, around these lakes right here. But a ton of great neighborhoods in this area and a ton of great places to live here in the Fargo-Moorhead region. Then you also have Fargo Country Club, one of the more premier and luxury and good golf courses here in Fargo, North Dakota. I've golfed it once. Not an easy golf course, but it's another golf course here in Fargo, and that's the thing people really love to do here. Head down to Rose Creek here, another great neighborhood with a ton of great places to live along the neighborhood and along the area of this Rose Creek golf course. And guys, if you guys want more information on any neighborhood I talk about in this video, I've been through them all and I've seen them all, and I have more information for you on them. So if you want more information on any neighborhood you see here in Fargo, North Dakota, or Moorhead, Minnesota, make sure you reach out to me by giving me a call or shooting me a text. So that's kind of Fargo. I know that was a quick breakdown, but I just want to give you guys a little bit of the overview of the area. So 150,000 people live in Fargo, North Dakota. And again, great place to live, a ton of stuff to do outside here in this Fargo-Moorhead region. Next, we're going to head over to Moorhead, Minnesota. So I know I already talked about the downtown a little bit, about the Dairy Queen, but one thing I want to talk about Moorhead is its brand new high school. So Moorhead just built a brand new high school, and it's not even completed yet. It's still in the process of being finished. Now, the thing is with this high school, Moorhead High School, they actually have a deal with MSUM, a college here in Moorhead, where if you have over a 3.0 GPA and you go to Moorhead High School, you can get free tuition to MSUM. Yeah, completely free tuition to go to MSUM if you complete and graduate from Moorhead High School with over a 3.0 GPA, making a great opportunity for those who do live in Moorhead to get free college to go to MSUM. So that's Moorhead High School, not even completed yet, but most of it is completed. Still a work in progress right there. You have the Meadows Golf Course, another beautiful golf course here in Moorhead, Minnesota. Going down to Village Green Golf Course, which is another golf course here. Now, I already talked about the two colleges a little bit, but this is MSUM, the college that has that deal with Moorhead High School, located right over here, and Concordia College, which is a private college here in Moorhead, Minnesota. Two very, very highly ranked colleges here on the Moorhead side. Then over on the northern side of Moorhead, over by the Walmart, is Dilworth, Minnesota, which is kind of really a unique little suburb of this Fargo-Moorhead region, where people can have a little bit of a small town feel, a little bit more country feel, but they can still be close to this Fargo-Moorhead region. Now, Dilworth is very similar to Horace in that way, where it's kind of a little bit out of town, a little bit more rural, but you're still close to the big region of Fargo-Moorhead, which can make it a great opportunity for people and families to live close to this Fargo-Moorhead region, but not in the middle and in the thick of the Fargo-Moorhead region. So that's Dilworth, Minnesota, population around 5,000 people. They have the Rail District here in Dilworth, which is a great little kind of strip mall type of place where people can go and enjoy, all the different food, all the different shopping and things like that over in Dilworth, Minnesota. So that was kind of a breakdown, again, of Moorhead. I know I'm going quick through these, but if you guys want any more information on things, feel free to reach out to me in whatever way you feel comfortable. All my contact information is in the link in the description below. So that was Moorhead, Minnesota. Next, we're going to head over to West Fargo, North Dakota here. West Fargo, again, like I said, very, very fastly growing city here in the Fargo-Moorhead region, and one of the fastest growing cities in the whole state of North Dakota. So again, we already talked about them a little bit before, but we have Bonanzaville, Red River, Valley Speedway, the fairgrounds, a very popular fair every single year here in the summers. A ton of concerts happen there at the fairgrounds, a ton of stuff to do here in West Fargo. Now, the thing about West Fargo, when you compare it to Fargo and you compare it to Moorhead, a lot of West Fargo is houses and neighborhoods. And there's a lot of great neighborhoods here in West Fargo, North Dakota. One of my favorite neighborhoods here in West Fargo is Shadow Creek or Shadow Wood. They have two different names for the same neighborhood, but that neighborhood is right here. Now, I really like it because of the amount of walking paths. It's right off the river here in West Fargo, North Dakota. They have a huge splash pad here in the summers, a good park, ton of great walking paths, and of course a park right here. This is Shadow Wood and Shadow Creek, but it also has a really good location because they're located right off of Veterans, 32nd, and 40th Avenue here in West Fargo, North Dakota. Now again, like I said, guys, if you want any more information on any neighborhood, any area, or anything to do with Fargo-Moorhead, make sure you follow along to the YouTube channel or reach out to me. I'd be happy to give more information to you. So this was Shadow Creek and Shadow Wood here in West Fargo, North Dakota. Then you also have some good neighborhoods over here in the West Fargo side and Deer Creek down here. It's not really technically considered in West Fargo, but it is a part of West Fargo. Deer Creek, which is another really great neighborhood over here in West Fargo. But again, like I said, a lot of West Fargo is pretty much just houses. From the interstate here and south in this whole area right here, it's pretty much just houses and just neighborhoods. So that can be a really great thing if you want to have more of that suburban feel. You don't want to be next to a bunch of industry things or stuff like that to live in down here in this West Fargo region. And again, Horace is right down here. Horace just completed a new high school maybe 2 or 3 years ago that has been completed. Horace is a town of around 6,000 people here in the Fargo-Moorhead region, and it's growing a ton. Only had 3,000 people a couple of years ago. Now, Horace is really good for people who want to have big lots. They want to have a lot of space, more of that country feel, kind of like what I talked about with Dilworth. Horace can be a really great place for that. And of course, you have a ton of stuff right along 170th Street here. They're building more and more amenities every single day here in Horace, North Dakota, it seems like, but there's not a ton of them down there. But the nice thing is you're really close to Fargo and you're really close to the Fargo-Moorhead region. Just take 170th Street, also called Cheyenne Street, up to take 52nd, go over to the interstate, go over to Walmart over here, stuff like that. So you're really close to Fargo, but also you're kind of country. So you have a lot more space. There's bigger yards in Horace, bigger areas in Horace. That is what makes Horace great. But I will say the taxes are higher in Horace, North Dakota than the Fargo-Moorhead region. Thanks for watching this video on a Google Maps tour of this Fargo-Moorhead region. Again, if you guys have any questions on any neighborhoods, areas, great places to live, things to do here in Fargo, North Dakota, I'm your guy. I'm Zach Sykora, a real estate agent here in Fargo, North Dakota, and the owner of the Living in Fargo-Moorhead YouTube channel. I make these videos to keep you guys up to date with everything you need to know about this Fargo-Moorhead region before you actually move here. You can schedule a call with me through the link in the description below, or you can reach out to me at my phone number on the screen now. Thanks for watching.